Peace be upon you, RH friends. We meet again on this cool channel. Awesome, Jades. Yes, friends. As I predicted, it finally happened. Later, the previous predictions will be revealed, so people will say, wow, this is because of this and that. So, the Surakarta District Court or Solo District Court has ruled on President Jokowi's diploma lawsuit. And what happened? What happened was that they declared themselves incompetent to adjudicate this matter. Amazing, huh? Even though if we look at it, this is a kind of class action lawsuit. Jokowi's diploma lawsuit at the Solo District Court was dismissed. The plaintiff will appeal. Okay. Let's read it and then try to contact Mr. Tawfik, okay? Salacompass.com. Plaintiff Muhammad Tawfik, representing the fake diploma group, a shameless fraudulent business that swindled UGM, plans to file an appeal after the panel of judges at the Solo District Court, Central Java, granted the exception stating that the lawsuit related to President Joko Widodo's diploma had been dismissed. The panel of judges stated that the Solo District Court did not have the authority to adjudicate this case, which was deemed to fall within the realm of criminal law or state administrative law. I still have 14 days. I will file an appeal and of course it will continue, Tawfik said when contacted on Thursday. Tawfik believes the virtual interlocutory decision is not a victory for the defendants, but rather demonstrates the judge's lack of authority towards his party. So, this is not called a victory, but I say it turns out the judge is still in the shadow of fear. The judge is still holding his stomach in fear and we predicted that this morning, he said. Furthermore, Tawfik also revealed that his party will prepare a citizen lawsuit as a step to fight the exception that has been granted by the panel of judges. We will file a citizen lawsuit. So, this is not the end of the world, but this actually proves to us that the regional judge is not yet smart, not yet brave enough to be firm. Meanwhile, Jokowi's attorney, YB Erpin, explained that the panel of judges has granted the exception in its entirety from defendants 2, 3, and 4 and stated that the Solo District Court does not have the authority to try this case. Secondly, stating that the District Court does not have the authority to try this case. Thirdly, ordering the plaintiff to pay court costs of 506,000 Indonesian rupiahs, Erpin explained. With this decision, the Solo District Court trial regarding the fake diploma will not continue the examination of the main case unless an appeal is filed. So the case has ended and will not continue to the examination of the main case. Well, unless an appeal is added by Irfan. So, all of you, yes, you want to submit it to the Petun. The Petun has the 90-day time limit is from the date the state administrative decision was pronounced or issued. Whether it's a criminal case, the punishment has already been stopped. So no institution can tamper with Jokowi's diploma. That's a serious matter, right? For example, there's news about the deadline. Yes, the deadline for filing a lawsuit against the state administrative court decision is being questioned again. Is there any news that if it's addressed directly to the first party, the 90-day provision can apply, but the applicant is not the party directly addressed by the state administrative court decision? 90 days, yes. Let's see later, okay? Is the 90-day period still used in the state administrative court or not? Because again, as far as I know, if we file a lawsuit in the state administrative court according to the state administrative law, the state administrative court can only be filed within 90 days of the issuance of the state administrative court decision. Well, whether there's been a change or not, I'm a bit forgetful. But the point is, if it's asked to be submitted to the state administrative court, it's rejected because this is something that's been going on for years, right? Okay. And then the next criminal cases have been after being finished at the Criminal Investigation Agency, Jokowi will say, haha, the law is still under my control, no institution can prove it. Well, From here on, a judge must be wise in resolving the problem. If this is the case, the problem is left hanging. So, no institution can question Jokowi's diploma. This person is truly amazing. It's impossible, then, that Roy Serio would suddenly be named a suspect without ever proving whether the diploma is genuine or fake. So, it's strange that he's a suspect for defamation but the diploma is still not presented. Our country is extraordinary, isn't it? Okay, let's try contacting Mr. M. Tawfik. Who knows, maybe he can still be contacted. That's extraordinary. I suspected it would be declared, not rejected, but declared unacceptable or no. So the Surakarta District Court declared him incompetent. Imagine that. That's what self-restraint is. So, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Dr. Tawfik. And
what is your position?
On the train. Oh, on the night train.
An hour and a half to Semarang. How? No. Oh, on the night train. I'll go home alone on the night train. This is the day train, it leaves at 4. Why don't you stop by RH channel even though you're going to Jakarta? Yes, time is very limited. Last night, you found a good event, right? Unfortunately, you got home at 11:30. So it's not nice at night, right? Bang Rebly said that if you go to the main, I agree, don't come at night, Bang, yes.
I've invited the Tohutin.
Yes, the plan was actually to come this morning. This morning we met with Lutfi Hakim, a former associate of Buying Nasution.
Yes, we
met with Warawan Adnan too. So time was tight in Jakarta, right? It was already 11:30 when we arrived there and went straight to the station. I see, Bang, was there a child's voice or a grandchild's voice or something? This is on the train or something like that. Is the
voice in? Is the voice in?
Yes, so like this, Mr. Tawfik, Mr. Dr. Tawfik used Q, right? I'm breaking this news. Hey, and the facts turned out to be.
Okay.
There's no evidence of a fake diploma. The Solo District Court declared it incompetent. That's our title.
Okay.
And we read Compass earlier. Namely that the lawsuit against Jokowi's diploma from the Solo District Court was dismissed. The plaintiff will appeal. Yes. Your comment, that's right. Yes, my comment is that if I read the decision, there are loopholes. First, the decision number 99 of the PDPG Garing PNSKT 2025 states that the exception from defendants 1, 2, 3, and 4 is granted, stating that the Surakarta District Court has no authority to adjudicate. The third states that the plaintiff must pay Rp 500, EERP 6000. And of course, I said that we predicted the appeal against the lawsuit from the start. But if we read the lawsuit from its injunction, there are still loopholes. What loopholes? That we are not said to have no legal standing. So that's the value. The positive side of the decision is that there are still weaknesses in the decision, that we were not declared EE without legal standing. This means that we can still file a lawsuit.
Or we can revise it, then we can file an appeal or make a new lawsuit and so on, or file a lawsuit elsewhere. There is still a possibility. But what we must note, Bang Rebly, if the Supreme Court dares to improve by granting lawsuit case number 05 regarding the sand in the sea, yes, the right to judicial review, yes, signed by the Supreme Court of the Republic of Indonesia 2025, yes. This makes me question what the 8th President Prabowo did by increasing the basic salary of 280, so it will not be effective if there are still judges who think that their stomach is in the government. That's the first thing. Second, that judges also need to be in the stomach, in the old government, right? Why? Why is
Their stomach under the old government?
Yes, yes. If he is an institution part of the Supreme Court, he should be subject to the Supreme Court, not to others.
Then the third thing I noticed, second, first he should to upgrade his knowledge, he must increase what is called relative competence, absolute competence. If he says he doesn't choose absolute competence, for example, directing it to the KP court or the TUN court, then he's reducing, degrading, his authority. Reducing, degrading his authority, and eventually, the public will know the answer. Then, thirdly, this decision shows that there is still intervention or interference from other institutions or forces. And fourthly, this is something that I think is very fatal for friends, wherever you are. No one should ever be imprisoned on charges of slander about a fake diploma. Because the substance or main material, whether the subject, Mr. Jokowi, then the object, the diploma, whether high school diploma, college diploma, or other requirements, has never been proven in court. Now, and this is connected.
So the main point is never because it's not slander. So how can someone be accused of slander? Then, fifthly, this signifies to us, I'm increasingly convinced that the real diploma does not exist, it's the diploma on social media. Oh yeah, diploma on social media. Well, that's why our strategy from the start was to reject the lawsuit online, and this also taught me that the macabre regulations governing online trials are not imperative, but rather optional. That's why there are 3 legal remedies. First, we file an appeal. Second, we file a new lawsuit. And third, we file a lawsuit with another institution. Those possibilities are still open, Bang Revli and friend RH. Why? Because we haven't read the full text of the verdict, what the legal considerations are. Then, what are the grounds for saying the court absolutely lacks jurisdiction? And sixth, this indicates that our judges don't want to change. They don't want to change. And this is the note I'm conveying. If we file a new lawsuit, I will reject it if it's examined by the same judge, because the same game is not qualified in my opinion.
Okay, I see, friends.
Okay. But hold on. I have one question. The judge said he doesn't have jurisdiction. The authority is the criminal court, right? And then the state administrative court. The question is, if we're talking about the criminal court, it stopped with EE Bears Crim. Even though there's a recase, we don't know whether there will be an adequate response or not. Then,
as far as I know, or as briefly as I know, the 90-day deadline has changed. Has that ever changed? I can't remember. There was 90 days to file after the state administrative decision was issued. That hasn't changed, right, Mr. Tawfik? I can't remember. To be honest, it hasn't
changed yet. It hasn't changed. It's still 10 months and 10 days. Right.
Now, the question is, where are we going to prove this fake diploma? Meanwhile, if the court, for example, charges Roy Suryo with a
fake diploma, there won't be any proof of whether or not it's fake. It's just
going back and forth about whether Roy Suryo
insulted or defamed, like Bombang Try.
and Gus Noor, who were ultimately convicted, and the threat of a maximum sentence of 10 years, then the sentence of 6 years, was very severe. What do you think, Sir Tawfik? Yes, I think that's far from the truth. If the theory of proof, for example, is that the court with jurisdiction is a criminal court, then the only one who can say whether someone is guilty or not guilty, whether they are proven or not is valid or invalid, yes. Criminal courts, and that's the process, by presenting the object of the case, in this case, a diploma. As long as that's never presented in court, then the provisions of Article 185 Paragraph 1 of the Criminal Procedure Code apply, which states that the strongest evidence is what is evidence, what is the witness, what is the expert, and what is the defendant's statement before the trial. That's what the positive law says. As long as that's not there. So if the basis for the investigation is declared complete, it means the police are carrying out 3 functions simultaneously: the function of the police, the function of the prosecutor, and the function of the judge. Because declaring whether someone is guilty or not is valid or invalid, what is guilt or innocence? So the theory that says, what is a criminal court? The police are part of the integrated criminal justice system, which has been tarnished and reconstructed by the Polari's corrupt attitude in saying that a diploma is valid. And that is very dangerous. In the future I finally agreed, even though I previously said I strongly rejected the statement of the professor of sociology of law at Diponegoro University, Professor TQ faculty. Now I agree, it's better to just create a police and then the police, judges, police, prosecutors, that's it, bang really. There's no need for law graduates because the police already use the one-stop justice court system, bang refresh.
I imagine that later, Jokowi's lawyer will say, well, 4-0, the current position is already, what about?
Yes, Solo has rejected 4, right? You never know whether we are proven or not. What is his diploma? Yes. Yes. What?
If I say I'm not 40, I still have legal remedies for appeal, I still have legal remedies for transactions, and I will also say how many zeros, even if I will file a new lawsuit. And I might also take extrajudicial means regarding the matter of evidence. Actually, I have found a key person. Yes, that person is not in Indonesia. He is an alumnus of the Faculty of Forestry, UGM, and his diploma is very different, but he is willing to attend. The problem with this lawsuit being granted, we pending first, and maybe I said earlier I will take extrajudicial efforts, yes. I will prove it outside the court, yes. Later there will be a kind of examination to compare the diplomas, yes. Well, it will be tested by experts, including I will invite someone named Joshua.
Sonambula.
Sonambula, yes, yes. No, not Joshua. Stirring the water, stirring it. Not that milk, yes. Yes.
But this water is stirred, it seems. Okay, Mr. Tawfik, yes. Hopefully.
Okay.
So this country, yes, just to prove someone's diploma, it's incredibly difficult, right? Yes, that's right. And indeed, I have helped follow the dictates until the end of the world. Jog's diploma will not be proven like that until the end of the world. And then there are people who then.
Thank you to friend RH. Greetings, Akik. Hello. Hello, yes.
Yes, okay, Mr. Tawfik, thank you very much.
Hopefully, thank you, yes.
To Solo, right? Amen. Oh, don't. You're also making a geejik.
Sound like a train.
Okay, that's all. Peace be upon you, peace be upon you. And peace be upon
you, and peace be upon you. Yes, all of you, it's from Dr. Tawfik, the principal plaintiff in the Jokowi diploma lawsuit case at the Surakarta District Court. So, everyone, this judge doesn't want to solve the problem, he's avoiding the problem. Even though if he takes this as a breakthrough, as what? A legal breakthrough, no one will question it because he already has the substance. But that's what he's avoiding. Imagine how crazy our country is. Even though this is what I mean, maybe he'll be resolved, blamed, compared, given it's okay. But there's a forum to prove fake diplomas. Remember when the gecko and crocodile recordings by Ongodo and so on were suddenly played at the Constitutional Court? Because people asked what the connection was. But at that time, Mr. Mahfoud himself said it was a progressive effort, and ultimately, it opened up Pandora's box, where there were attempts to criminalize the Corruption Eradication Commission, KPK, which was like a gecko versus a crocodile. Now, the question is, if no institution is allowed to test diplomas that are considered genuine, how can we be a country of this size? Until now, there is none. What exists is what Rizman and Roy Suryo said, which I believe would be true if the original diploma were submitted because it would certainly not have changed. It's more or less the same as facial recognition, then L, and so on, and so on. So I've done that, huh? This scenario is scary. If it's true, it turns out that one lawsuit from the Solo District Court. No is not no, it's declared inadmissible, it's called no. Second, the diploma was declared genuine by the Criminal Investigation Agency. The defamation and slander case continues. Roy Suryo and his friends are suspects. So we can already predict this scenario is being carried out by a powerful force, I don't know, by a gang. If possible, all of them. Indonesian citizens are suspects who question diplomas like that. Even though it's a big deal, there are 200 people who are suspects, including the Red Hats. Amazing, right? Okay, let's read the comments of all era friends. Then investigate Jokowi's fake diploma until the king of lies admits it consciously. Then Abang Rifli Jokowi should be banned immediately. There are signs that he will have fled abroad. How and who is competent to push for Jokowi's ban? Yes, people can't be banned, he doesn't have a case, right, unless he has been named a suspect and so on. But it's also possible, actually, it depends, once named a suspect, being banned immediately is possible. But there's no desire for that, right? Then this country has become a fake country. The law only applies to the common people. Bank RH is actually the one causing chaos in our country, Jokowi and his gang. The only lie Joko has proof of is when he said Kasmio was his thesis supervisor. It was conveyed earlier, bang, to Roy CS. Please convey it. Then, Sorsen, is it really fake? The TNI should be the one helping the people arrest Jokowi. Then, our country's legal institutions don't want to be honest because it's difficult because the law in our country is so sacred. Okay. The judges at the Solo District Court have degrees from the up. Then, the joke complaint is only a court of afterlife, not collusion. Those who are sane believe that Jokowi's diploma is fake. Those with mental disorders believe it's real. The photo is someone else's. The law is already broken in the land of Konoha. Jokowi's diploma is hidden in the gutter. If a fake one is covered up, will it become real? It seems there are more followers of Dajjal than Al-Mahdi. Nazubila Minzalik. Yes, like a nail, when it's straight, it will be hammered until it goes into the bottom. When it's bent, it's not used and left. Then, even though he's no longer president, Mr. Joko still serves as the king of Java, which has the authority to declare a genuine diploma fake, right? That's if there's no case, bro. If there is a case, UGM only provides testimony that is authorized by the court, right? But the problem is that the case is to be avoided, right? That's it. It's serious, as I expected, as predicted until the end of the world, a magical diploma. Don't expect justice to be served if law enforcement officers are still appointed by the president. Then, sane people believe Jokowi's diploma is fake, okay? And so on and so forth. Until the end, let's jump up. Then, it's clear that the direction of the opinion is in accordance with the regime's needs, that Jokowi's diploma is not proven to be fake at the Surakarta District Court. Did Mull or his lawyer submit the original diploma? Not really. He said he wanted to show that in court, even angels can be fooled by liars. Then, the number of terms is like mushrooms in the rainy season, more numerous than Bezers during the presidential election. Dual positions. Okay, dual positions, right, ladies and gentlemen. That's all. Again, fighting for justice is not easy, bro. Right? Because many people are still afraid of poverty, right? Afraid of the police but not afraid of Almighty God. Well, let's complain to the owner later. Our job is to fight for what is right. Perhaps some Indonesians don't think this is important, but this is a maze of power, a labyrinth of courts that cannot be touched, cannot be intervened. In fact, if Prabowo were to make a short speech, the judges would be allowed to fulfill the public's sense of justice as fairly as possible. Do their job and do their best. There will be no intimidation. We will protect. Wow, that would be so nice, right? But that's not what happened. That's it, RH friends. Yes, peace be upon you. Awesome, rock.